Hi there, I'm Don.
And hi, I'm Cindy, and welcome to Pearls of Liberty, March 30th, 2013, and happy Resurrection Weekend.
Yes, indeed, he is risen.
We are beginning with this article, Infanticide, Planned Parenthood official argues for right to post-birth abortion, and this video is rather startling.
Everybody has always been saying it's a slippery slope, but nevertheless, whenever you start sliding down that slope, it's pretty scary. This is crazy stuff. They're talking about killing little babies that are already born. Once you have allowed that the society can kill babies in the womb, they're going to kill babies outside of the womb.
Human life is human life. This is an interesting article. We take it with a grain of salt. When the announcements come, NESARA.
Well, NESARA, if you haven't heard of it or don't know what it is, it's a package of programs that are really originated in the 90s, and it was kept secret and was sabotaged, and it has to do with getting us back on a constitutional track as a nation and setting the people free. And a lot of it, the roots of it have to do with farmers and farm aid and getting back farmers' land that was stolen from them. And there will hopefully be some NESARA stuff coming out soon, that this stuff that has long been hoped for by many will begin to manifest.
Yeah, there's not, I guess, as far as we're concerned, there's not any absolute guarantee that this is going to happen, that this change is going to come. So it's kind of, this could easily be used as this could be a diversion.
It could be a false hope.
Yeah. So
that people place their trust in this hope instead of working for liberty. There are real things that you can do here and now that don't depend on resources from NESARA. So don't count on it, but rejoice if and when it happens.
Sure, and promoting the cause of liberty certainly is not going to interfere with this. If anything, it's going to support it and make it more likely.
Absolutely, yeah. This is like something that'll enable you to go much faster than you've been going before at whatever you've been doing. So begin doing the right stuff and you'll be going in the right direction. You'll get more momentum going, but it's not an excuse to not do anything now.
And this article recommends a video, so we will have the link to the video in our notes. FBI report describes discovery of 3 flying saucers and bodies of 3 feet tall humanoids. This video is about how a couple years ago the FBI opened their files, or some of their files, and have made them available online. And the most requests for information are information pertaining to aliens and so on.
I thought you were going to say that they opened their files and the hot sheets fell out, and we saw what the men in black could see. Yeah, wow. Well, hey, this could be a big psyops to get our focus. When amazing things start to happen, it's natural for Christians and other spiritually inclined humans to thank God. But hey, if it's aliens, you can't thank God, right? So hey, got to be aware of that possibility.
Yeah, just as I was scanning articles this morning, there are very, very many. There are always, in the Liberty News, you always get a sprinkling of articles about aliens. But this morning there are a lot. So my guess is if something is on the horizon, and that's this, because this cuts deeper than just the people. This cuts to the devil wanting to receive worship instead of God receiving worship. And if some of his minions, the Rockefellers, whoever, are defeated or diminished, then he's going to be looking around for somebody else to put in their place, I would guess.
Yeah, and the thing to be aware of is that the aliens are not necessarily bad. If aliens do exist, and I think it's likely that they do exist, and I think it's likely that they're aware of us if they do exist, then there are probably both good aliens and bad aliens, and a mixture could be influencing us, and the spotlight could be turned onto this mixture by the people that control the media now as a means to divert us and lead us into some kind of a new paradigm based on aliens as opposed to God. And hey, even if aliens are involved, it's still God who allows or helps to happen whatever happens. So it's potentially a tactic to get our attention diverted into a way that would be very tantalizing, but not very productive.
Yeah, and because it does certainly seem that the mainstream media is still controlled by some of the guys who maybe do not have our best interest at heart, that some weird things, if NESARA does roll out, that we might see some pretty strange news articles floating around.
Yeah, so beware.
And Bill Schnoebelen has a great perspective on aliens. He says that it's beyond question that there is alien or extraterrestrial, off-world technology that has, there have been ships that have been found, and it's undeniable that some of this technology exists. He considers where it may have come from, and he even suggests that fallen angels, just because of their long history, have accumulated the intelligence and the knowledge that would be required to develop some of this technology, and they could share it with humans or Nephilim or whatever.
Right. At the very least, all of the things that this Earth has been subjected to are well beyond the intelligence level and intelligence maintenance level of humans themselves. So you need some kind of an off-world source, whether it be in the spiritual demonic realm or whether it be extraterrestrials who have a more advanced civilization, and that's the kind of stuff that he alludes to. So yeah, we need to look beyond ourselves for explanations, that's for sure.
How subliminal messages are used to control your mind. Just as a reminder, this is an interesting article, and we all know this, but I think that it's important, even in light of the alien thoughts, that we've all kind of been conditioned to believe certain things from childhood, and I think it's valuable if we question our beliefs. Why do I believe that?
Right, and well, subliminal messages are those frames that are spliced into movies that are too quick for your eye to see unless you're really looking for them, unless you're really awake, and they'll give you subliminal messages about things to like, things to not like, things to buy, the way that they want to manipulate you, and that's very real, and that's been going on. I remember there was a book when I was in high school that was very popular about that. I can't remember the title of it now, but subliminal messages and advertising has long been a staple, and that will definitely ramp up because the people that are in control of advertising Madison Avenue, they have not gone away. They have just pulled back in some areas and ramped up their campaign in other areas, and it will take the people finding out what's going on and exposing it in order to bring them down. That hasn't happened yet.
And the top 5 topics incorporated into subliminal messages are sex, drug, food, fear, and violence.
Right. I remember that famous picture of the ice cube spelling sex as a way to sell sex in a drink of alcohol that had the ice cubes there, subliminally telling you that sex was the solution.
Well, and it's bait and switch. I mean, you're being promised one thing as you're being sold another. It implies if you accept this, then you're going to get that. So, and it definitely appeals to the lower brain.
Definitely.
Nikola Tesla, greatest inventor in history.
Free energy. He knew it, and he was blackballed. If it weren't for J.P. Morgan refusing to fund the Tesla's operation, the Earth would be running on free energy now. There really is no need for a petroleum addiction, or however you want to put it. That there is abundant energy, more than we could ever use. So don't ever get suckered into a limitation mentality that we're using up the planet or that kind of thing. It's certain resources, maybe, but the reason for that is because monopolies have been fraudulently created in the land of abundance.
And water is one of the things that we're often made to believe is very scarce, but we are aware of a closed system that completely recycles water, so that's really not an issue.
Yeah, and there really is abundant water, so it's all about the purity of it, etc.
Well, do we have any rights left? No rights to privacy. FBI spy real time on emails and chats.
Hey, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm a good person. I love my government.
Well, then
they won't hurt me.
So you don't mind us spying on you, do you?
No, I don't. I don't at all.
Okay. And what if some of the things, because, you know, our laws are so arbitrary and random now. What if you are doing something that maybe you're not even aware that you're breaking the law, and they're spying on you and they find out and you get a knock on the door?
Or what if they frame me and say I was doing something that I wasn't, but they can put together evidence that everybody believes because they control the system. So, yeah, it's not about your guilt or your innocence. And, that's just super naive thinking that I was imitating earlier. It's just it's just about creating a system that attracts control freaks and people that are frame up and con job artists to be able to basically blackmail key elements of society into getting whatever they want. And these are just tools so that they can accomplish this purpose.
Yeah, so if there's, for instance, something that's current is Second Amendment rights. If, you know, they took away some Second Amendment rights and we happen to, and this is hypothetical, if we happened to have some rifles, whatever, that we had inherited from grandfathers, and we don't report those, and then we're in a chat or we say something in an email, hey, let's go hunting, I've got my grandfather's rifle, boom, they've got you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the one thing I also like to point out is that, yeah, the foundational problem here is creating a government that is big enough to do this and powerful enough to do this. That should not exist. In a free society, you shouldn't have a superstructure that claims to be saving people and keeping them free, because each individual is supposed to maintain his own individual freedom and not rely on some superstructure to do it. So as soon as you allow the creation of that superstructure that is told it's going to serve you, you will invite the abusers and the gamers into, you know, con artists into that system, and then you've got the state that we have now, which is really, really bad.
Yikes. And more bad news. Although there is some hope here because we can change.
Yeah.
Ever wonder why the world is so screwed up? Research proves people find pleasure in physical and emotional pain.
Yeah, this is all about self-sabotage and how we're afraid of experiencing something different from our present condition, which have feedback loops that we enjoy. You get special status from your special illness and from your special persecutions and people that don't like you, and you can have this martyr complex, and there's all kinds of reasons like that that keep people in these negative feedback loops.
So if I'm a little overweight, and then people expect me to eat a lot of cookies, so if I eat a lot of cookies, they won't judge me, right?
It's like that. Yeah, it's like that.
But there's some specific things here that the human, when he gets down talking about how we really behave, we might not necessarily think of this as masochism or even acknowledge to ourselves that we do this, but just this list of behavior, that how we do sabotage ourselves. And we don't, how do you think that people can break out of this? What do you think is
It's all about becoming aware of your self-sabotage. So this article is the first step in that direction, to let you know that you do it. And once you have increasing awareness about that, you can catch yourself doing it, and then you can stop yourself from doing it. So it's that's actually what is really meant by higher consciousness. It's being able to watch yourself making decisions that are not in your best interest, and this article can help you begin to do that. There's also the name of a psychologist here that if you scroll back up, I can't remember it right off the top of my head, but it's a name I want to remember.
I think it's this guy.
Is it? Oh yeah, there it is. Edmund Bergler. Yeah, Bergler. So he obviously is not going to be somebody that the system promotes, because this is leading people into health and wholeness big time in a way that the current cabal death control system does not want. So that's a name you can search out, and I would like to know more about this guy's work, because look at this, 25 books, 273 scientific papers and medical journals, over 30 years of clinical experience. This guy has got to be a gold mine of information for health and healing.
Well, and of course, Agent Smith told Neo the same thing in the Matrix, right?
Yeah,
he said
right.
They tried to have the Matrix with everything perfect and comfortable and beautiful, but that people woke up because they didn't. That's really not what they wanted.
Yeah.
The deepest level.
You would think that it would be the opposite. You'd think that if everything was cushy and rosy, that people would go to sleep. But no. So, hey, the more blessings that we can give to people as we set ourselves free, the more free they will be too. They won't. Don't fear that if you make somebody's life more blessed, that they're going to go to sleep. Well, they that may put them into a cycle of dependency that you might have to help shake them out of, but that'll be temporary, because ultimately, when people are blessed, they do wake up.
And I think there's probably some underlying issue here of feelings of being unworthy of being happy or having nice things or whatever. And I'm guessing that's probably tied to just the fall of man.
Ultimately it's not really believing that Jesus really did everything that he did for us, that he gave his life, he died and rose again, and that we're really completely set free. Ultimately, we really don't believe that completely, and the more that we do believe that, the more set free we are.
So be free. Jesus is out of the tomb is empty, and we hope that you have a great time celebrating that with your family this weekend, and friends, loved ones, and thanks for joining us this week.
And always remember to see the world the way that it really is. See yourself in it. Walk your walk. You are the one you've been waiting for.